Hello everybody, welcome back to Travels with Bieber and welcome to Farnborough Airshow. After 4 years away due to the COVID pandemic, Farnborough Airshow is back and on the hottest day ever in the UK, 40 degrees today, sweltering. But it's back and it's back with a bang. The Boeing 777X is here, ladies and gentlemen. The highlight for me of the entire show. It's incredible. It's the world's largest twin-engine jet, the world's most efficient twin-engine jet, packing the world's largest commercial engines by General Electric, and packing another, and the best feature of them all, folding wingtips. Let's get closer and check these out. So basically these folding wingtips give this plane better performance, better aerodynamics and increased lift when it takes off. When it does take off, these wingtips fold outwards so that it gives it a wingspan of 235 feet. It's massive, and as a result of that, better performance. But when they land at airports, it's actually too big to fit into the current 777 gates. So how do they get around that? These wingtips, after landing, this plane folds inwards the wingtips and then it can fit. Gets to the runway, folds outwards, aerodynamically much better. It's incredible. And look, these engines, the GE9X engines by General Electric. It's the world's largest commercial engine, and oh boy, when you get close to it, it's huge. It really is absolutely stunning, but it's just one of many amazing features on this aircraft. Should we get a closer look at those wingtips? Yeah, why not? You really have to stand under the wing to get a perspective of just how big this wing is. It's absolutely massive, and it's not even with the wingtips extended. So yeah, it's just crazy how big this aircraft is and how beautiful it is. But yeah, there they are. So as you can see, the mechanics there, they fold outwards when they go to take off, fold inwards when they land, so they can fit into the gates at airports. But yeah, it's amazing to think that this massive aircraft, 55 feet long, 235 feet wide, it's hard to give you a perspective of how big it is, and it's hard to imagine this is only being powered by 2 engines, not 4. Fun fact for you, can you see these little things sticking out the back? Well, they are basically tail strike indicators. If this plane ever hits the runway, the tail of the plane hits the runway, or scrapes it, scuffs it, it sends a signal to the pilot and they know it's been damaged and they have to fix it. Sometimes it can happen and it can be the slightest of scrapes, but that will send the indication to the pilot to fix that. And here is the tail of the aircraft, 777-9. Now it's called a 777X. There's 2 variants of this aircraft. There's the -9 and the -8, I believe, and basically this is the -9 version. It's the biggest version, the best version, but yeah, so this is the 777-9 variant of the 777X, and as you can see, maybe just above the door there, it says experimental. So inside this aircraft, it's basically pretty much stripped out. It looks like an office: computers, wires, pipes, water barrels to keep it weighted. And yeah, so inside it's not going to look like how you're going to see it when this aircraft is finally delivered in 2025 to airlines, but it's still something special. So let's go inside and check out the 777X. Sadly, we couldn't go inside because there was a private viewing at the time, so we're going to try again later or tomorrow morning if we have to wait that long. But for now, it's time to see it in the air. Flying display time.
Not the normal departure that you get out of Heathrow by the aircraft climbing steeply away. How about that for a departure? General Electric's reversers deployed. Fantastic brakes. on all those doors. They go. Huge hinges and the mechanism to do that, but it is well worth it for the efficiency and economy of this.
Hello everybody, we are now back at Farnborough on day 2. Let's hope we can finally get a look inside this 777X. Let's go. Here we go, 777X time. Gotta mention though that this is an experimental version, so inside there's going to be computers everywhere, water barrels, all sort of testing equipment. But yeah, here it is. Let me let the photographer get his picture. There we go. There we go. And here it is, everybody, the 777X. How exciting is this? First impression is it's much wider than I'd anticipated. Now, it is actually wider than out of all of the 777 variants, because what they've done is the actual wall of the plane, between the inside wall and the outside, it's actually slimmer. So maybe they've used better materials, smaller materials, they've got rid of things maybe they don't need, but they've made the wall more narrow to allow for a much wider fuselage. So it is actually the widest of the lot in the 777 family. But another thing I'm also noticing are the windows are also much bigger. I think, if I've got my facts right, this is 26% bigger than the A350, the rival window. So that's the view outside there at the moment here at Farnborough Airshow. Now I believe these seats here are not anything special. I think they're taken from the previous 777, so they're not a hint of what it's going to look like when it actually gets sent to airlines and fitted with seats. But it's just to give you an idea of what it looks like. But yeah, so the windows are bigger, and apparently they're mounted higher on the fuselage compared to other aircraft to allow basically for a bigger cabin, a sense of a bigger cabin. So yes, it's higher than normal. I can't really tell too much, although that said, actually if I sit down in one of those seats I probably could tell. What's it like? Yeah, you know, I can see it. It does look big, it does look higher, the windows on this aircraft. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of testing equipment on here, so it's not going to give you a great idea of what it's going to look like when it's sent to airlines like British Airways, Qatar, Singapore Airlines. But what's great is it does give you a great indication of how big it's going to feel inside. So here are just more of the testing equipment that lies around the aircraft at the moment, such as this. So when the aircraft is flying, they'll be using these monitors and computers to basically monitor the aircraft and see how it's flying, and all the technical aspects that I'm not going to bore you with because I have no idea what happens. Continuing with the testing theme, these are all water barrels, and rather than me boring you with what I think is the correct explanation for what these are used for, I'm going to ask an expert. Let's find out. Could you tell me, these water tanks that I'm seeing, could you explain to me how they work, what they are?
So we use them for ballast, and we'll put water in them depending on test conditions, and we have certain parameters that we need to maintain for a flight test, so we have to stay in a certain CG envelope. We'll transfer water forward and aft to maintain that envelope while we're flying in order to stay in that test condition longer. As fuel burns out of the wings, the center of gravity of the airplane shifts, and in order to stay in a certain parameter, the water in the barrels is used to counteract that burning of fuel.
Oh, amazing. I see these pipes down here. I'm assuming they're the ones that distribute the water along the aircraft.
So all of this grey piping you see goes all the way up to the forward barrels as well, and that's what allows us to move pump. And if you look at the center up here, there's a big pump in front of the barrels, and that's what we use to move the water forward and aft. And we have a weights engineer that sits at one of the racks in the middle there, and he's in charge of making sure that the water is moved to the appropriate.
Oh, amazing. And there is one other thing. Am I right in saying that this fuselage is actually wider because the walls may be more narrow or something?
Interior-wise, there's the way that they've designed these frame stations, they've actually been able to kind of sculpt them, and then the sidewalls, they've designed the sidewalls to kind of suck in a little bit further. So yes, on the interior of the fuselage, we've gained about 4 inches overall. The exterior of the fuselage is still the same as a legacy 777.
Oh, that's fantastic. And the windows are also slightly bigger?
So about 2 inches larger. Yep. They're
and
not
higher.
quite as They're not quite as big as the 787 windows, but they're larger than the legacy aircraft windows.
Yeah, and the A350.
I don't know. I can't.
I saw it online.
We've got that up there, but I can't talk to it, so I don't know enough about the A350 to talk anything about it.
Brilliant. So, are they actually mounted higher slightly as well, the windows?
Yep, they did.
What's the reason for that?
Just for a better view, passenger experience, because everybody likes to look out the window while you're flying, so they moved them up so that you get a better view, and the larger, wider windows give you more of a view while you're sitting in the seat.
Oh, that's fantastic. And obviously, I'm a travel vlogger, so I'm flying all around the world. It's all about comfort of the aircraft,
Absolutely.
comfort of flying, and obviously I do city breaks as well, but that's nothing to do with this plane. But what does involve this plane is flying to those sort of destinations and the comfort of the aircraft. Can you tell me what sets this apart to other 777 variants or other aircraft anyway, flying long haul?
So, the big difference interior-wise, that other than the windows and the slightly wider cabin that a lot of the customers will notice, and you won't even realize it, but we're able to keep the cabin altitude lower on this airplane than legacy airplanes. So flying higher, but in the cabin you feel like you're at a lower altitude, so there's less fatigue.
Less jet lag.
Much less jet lag.
There's one other thing I noticed. These things here that you meant. I don't think I overheard you saying that they're to do with the galley.
So these silver fittings, these raised fittings here, that's what the galley's attached to on production airplanes. So those are the mounting points for the galley configurations in the aircraft.
Ah, fantastic. And it's still due for 2025, this plane?
You'll have to talk to the folks in charge of selling the airplanes. I don't know that end.
Well, we're looking forward to it. It looks fantastic, doesn't it?
It's a great flying airplane. It's a lot of fun to be on, so yeah.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And check this out. The very back of the aircraft here. God, I've never seen anything like this before, so it's bizarre, but it feels huge. Again, running theme here with all the testing equipment and pipes and wires and water barrels lying around everywhere. But yeah, incredible. I just asked if I could check out the overhead luggage bins, but apparently they're also, like the seats from previous Boeing aircraft, surplus equipment where they've used it for testing or it's just out of date. So yeah, these seats and the overhead luggage racks are not what you're going to be seeing on the 777X. Obviously that's up to the airlines when they order this aircraft, and they will choose obviously what sort of seating goes in, the configurations, etc. But what this does definitely give you a feeling of is just pure size. It's so wide, the windows are much bigger, the engines, which you might be able to just kind of see down there, are huge, the biggest commercial engines in the world. So next thing we need to check out is the cockpit. And here it is, the cockpit of the 777-900. Incredible. Apparently quite a few aspects of the Dreamliner are incorporated into the cockpit of the 777X. But yeah, it looks stunning from here. Obviously I don't know what is what, but it does look incredible and so modern as well. So yeah, there is the cockpit of the 777-900, and well, we're back at the front of the plane now. It really is just incredible how large it feels. This is the view outside of the door. Some of you may recognise the guy standing behind me in the background there, Alex Macaras. He's an aviation correspondent, basically. Really good knowledge of aircraft he has, much better than mine, however. So yeah, cutting to the point, when will this plane finally be in the air flying for the likes of British Airways, Qatar, etc.? Well, it was due to start flying in 2020, that's 2 years ago now. But it's now due to start being delivered in 2025. That's a 5-year delay now, so that's not great. However, the airlines that have ordered this aircraft is a good sign of what's to come, because British Airways, Qatar Airways, Singapore Airlines, Etihad and Emirates, I believe, are among the customers that have already ordered this beautiful aircraft. So despite the 5-year delay, that's a good sign. So yeah, if you want to be flying this aircraft, hopefully in 3 years' time, you will be. So, let's talk seats, and I'll sit down if I'm allowed. Let's talk seats. So this aircraft has the potential to carry up to 426 seats on this Dash 900 variant anyway. That's in a single class configuration. Now of course, if the likes of Qatar are ordering this aircraft, British Airways, Emirates, etc., you're going to find more than just one class. You're going to find first class, possibly, certainly business class and economy class, so there will be less seats available as a result. But single class 426 seats can be fitted onto this aircraft, to give you an idea of just how big it is. But its rival, the A350, I've got my fact sheet here just to be sure I'm getting this correct, can carry up to around 480 passengers. I think recently they reconfigured it slightly inside so that they can fit more seats in a single class layout. So 480 is a slightly more, but yeah. And also, interesting fact as well, Boeing claim that this variant, the 777-900 that I'm sitting on right now, will have the lowest operating cost per seat out of any commercial aircraft. Now if that's the case, will the airlines, because it's up to the airlines, pass that reduction in cost to the passengers? If they do, this plane will be cheaper to fly on. So hopefully airline tickets flying on the 777 should be cheaper in theory. Probably won't be, but yeah, Boeing say this is the lowest cost, operating cost for airlines, so that's a great appeal to airlines out there. So I'm sure many more orders will be coming in on top of already those big names I've already mentioned. So yeah, it's cheap, it's big, it's got the biggest engines in the world, it's the biggest 777 of the lot. So you know, all these biggest, best, etc., it's all going to appeal to the airlines. All these facts will appeal massively to them. So yeah, it's a very good aircraft. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And there is the 777X. However, the video doesn't end there. I've got a little surprise for you. I'm going to interview Alex Makaras, who's currently walking behind me. Let's see what he thinks of this aircraft. Basically, I just wanted to get your thought, because obviously you're the expert. You know more than me about aircraft. So what do you make of this 777X?
The 777X, I think, is you know, very well positioned to... The 777X is very well positioned to take on this kind of next significant chapter of what will be kind of ultra long haul flying, mass market long haul. We're seeing a lot of airlines position themselves to take aircraft that are more flexible in terms of smaller, with good performance but with range, but on the whole pushing people towards the smaller side. This does the opposite of that. This takes on the A380, goes on to replace that, takes on the A350, replaces all of the aging 777s, and they've got huge votes of confidence by airlines all over the world. It's a very wide cabin, you just saw it. Extremely spacious. Obviously it's spacious because there's no cabin in there yet, but still it sets the foundations for what's going to be an experience that passengers enjoy, because until today, despite what the airlines need in terms of efficiencies and whatever, passengers tend to prefer flying on larger aircraft, and this is very large. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to when it enters service.
It is very exciting. One more thing. It's been delayed by 5 years now.
Yeah, it's very late.
But quite an issue. Do you see that being an issue in the future, or do you think they'll make up for it with the fact this is such a beautiful aircraft? And you've got great orders already from Qatar, etc.
Yeah. We're in this period now where the airlines that were affected by the delay have almost got over that now. You know, COVID, if anything, probably helped cushion the blow to that delay, because most airlines, because of the pandemic, were not willing to take on new aircraft. So yeah, you know, we can't argue with the fact that it is a very late aircraft, but that is common in aviation, to be honest, when we have a clean sheet, brand new aircraft. And this is kind of clean sheet. It is based on the original 777, but as you know, it's much larger, more powerful, and ready to serve kind of this next gen of long haul air travel.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
So there we have it, everybody. That was the 777X, the Dash 900 variant. Amazing aircraft, and as you've heard from Alex, who's a bit more of an expert than myself, it's incredible, and it's going to be great for the passengers and great for the airlines themselves too. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this plane in the air in 2025. A stunning aircraft. Now hold your horses, because I'm now going to go over to the 737 MAX 10 you can see in the background there, and I'm going to do that for another vlog coming very shortly. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell button next to the subscribe button, and you'll get to see all of the videos I publish in future. So yeah, please do subscribe and like this video if you haven't already, and comment your thoughts. What did you think of that 777X? Quite a beautiful aircraft, isn't it? But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Do like, do subscribe if you can, and now it's time for the exciting 737 MAX 10. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in that video. Bye bye.